I saw my university.
Thank you so much for listening. The Vice Chancellor of ABM Center and the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Akemoye Oladapadi Oke. The Registrar is definitely the management, secretary to council, and of course, at the patron, the Royal Observer. The potential, I'm able to recognize, I'm able to just convention say, other principal officers that may be by the bossa, the potential is not appealed to Blair. And of course, the University Professor and thank you. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to this 2.5 journey of our living registrar. Of course, before we move on, I want to call on our own grand patron, ably represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor. Sorry, sir. Yes, to join the management team at the other side of the table, of course, is a one-time registrar. Of course, the Federal College of Education, Mr. Adebayo Adebayo. Sorry, Dr. Adebayo Adebayo. Please don't let me sir. Also, to join them on the acting there is also the former acting registrar, and she is a female of Refuge. Please clap your hands together. This is Colloquium. To join them on the high table is a person that is going to give us the keynote address. The person that is going to give us the keynote address, of course, he is no other person but Mr. Anupa. Okay. You want to go? Yes. Okay, about Harvard University. Please start with for me. Thank you. I think so. Permit me to call our old chairman, James. Yes. So I want to call the chairman to give us his opening address. On the ground in front of Anupa, that's the professor presentation. And then we have to leave by the celebrant of today, the registrar secretary to FBI University Bossa, the head microfinance, Mr. The University Librarian, invited guests, and principal assistant, distinguished colleagues, and members of the sector, Anupa Tasued. It's of welcome growth to this education service that is found available. We have to recognize and appreciate Mr. Oke's leadership contribution to our
the man, notable achievement. We come in ensuring the smooth operation, promoting academic excellence and fostering collaboration and innovation. We understand the critical play in shaping the academic landscape of our so excellence for education and the development of classroom community in what we can all witness today. Thus, the reason for take a closer look into the past year and see where we are the registry, the university for the past that as a registrar of the university, I'm a registrar of the university. Another in order for Chanel to do the through the 2.5 years, deep understanding of the complexities of management to ensure that our institution of academic excellence has been expanded and we will count in the past 2.5 years through the journey, reflecting administrative leadership for to be given by the staff. One twice before he went was automatically welcome. After that, serious progress made so far has been raised by the audience. Through our discussion, help not only management and council in the next year, even now. The registry, another area. We also look forward to his ambition for our institution. We are continue to work with us to address the challenge and to explore new opportunities. The best example being the registry, other and for giving the registry its investment management. The registrar to leverage and sustain these power people and applications. I thank you for the education for professionalism in investment. Protect your studies to pass. And we as grateful to our distinguished guests. We welcome you all to engage actively in the discussion, exchange ideas, and reflect on also explore new ways in achieving our goals. And with him, ambition in his goal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anupa, for service. The recognize. I'll start with most senior leader of this institution. He was a national officer of Anupa, and he is the secretary college. Management division. And all that. With the program we pay to before the that usually to Mr. Sam. And officer, us review the situation to see how we can move forward. Organization what we do. I want to thank everybody and I want to appreciate you for coming because the turnout is beautiful. The turnout is beautiful. And I want to congratulate Anupa too. Akíṣebí ọ̀rọ̀ láti ọ̀yọ́ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ láti ẹni bọ́. Anupa Tasued is always there. I congratulate you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us open up. Let's discuss. Let's give our man. Because when he started, we are not here. He was open. He tries to ensure that registry is recognized. You remember, he fought, even though for registry to survive in any institution, we all know what it takes. You know what it takes. We don't continue to regulation. So, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open. Yes, before I go to the Vice Chancellor, you guys will be working. Is it that Mr. Anupa is going to be discussing today? Yes. It is high time I called on those that will join him as discussant. Please clap your hands together for Mr. Bandele Francis Oladapo. And the former chairman, Anupa, Tasued. Anupa, appreciation for service. Yes, also to join them, please, Mrs. Oladapo Oke, Mr. Oladapo Oke. Mr. Oladapo Oke. Join them is Mrs. Olashayo Olusegun. Also to join them is Mrs. Temitope Mogofayo Oduwole. If the Vice Chancellor remarks, and the names of Anupa, the honor of Oladapo Oke. The calling Oladapo Oke. You know, the man is having many names. Some people do call him the Oke. Some call him Oladapo.
Personally, I like to talk in materials. Maybe managing director, another the senior registrar staff, invited guest, Dr. Adebayo. They also happen to be the former registrar, FD Oshele. That is for coming. Is the award goes to the University of Education again. But I want to recognize the it's like a yoga. The pastor. Recognize Director ICT, Dr. Ajay. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I want to welcome all of us down to this program. I've said it before, I said it close to ourselves. But my worry is we'll be able to say the fact, the registrar is good, want to be able to tell him that he can claim to have worked with him for more than 2 years now. Right? And I think anything I say because I want to very close to I would have to give a sincere statement. Mr. Proving Record, draft record. Mr. Sunday Oladapo Oke, we will talk it. He always be a register to the university. And I think we can investigate between it. He has or he possesses certain level of skill and competence in administrative function. I can give an example of this exam without permitting me to start doing that. Register because of you. He will relate to you. He will try to convince you, not by authority, but by virtue of his experience. to be a problem solving personnel among the staff. I don't know the nature of the challenge. Registrar is trying to find solutions to it. And remember the time when you have challenges to solve it. You are discovering the threat that is making people. You have to get out. You can't work it around just now. So, but that is the registrar for you. He has deep understanding of administrative procedure, best practices, and specific requirements of the university system. Anything related to university administration is not due to the man sitting before you. He knows what to do. He knows how to do it for you. Even if you people don't want to believe, if the position doesn't go well with you, if you still make sure that you carry out the assignment expected of him. Then you can easily adapt the invitation. You can handle unexpected issues with confidence and fair decision. That is the man sitting before you. If you do like that, and you do mentor, by the grace that we will do like that for you. Or when it comes to administrative assignment, I don't know why you have to do anything in the service. The man will definitely have a solution to it. I'm giving it to you. My name. It's a good man, very good in me, and courageous. I think you can testify to that. Very good. You have to play the decision or not, you will still go ahead. Then, in the course of my, I think I said that all the good and the bad. I mean, don't forget, make sure you point out the other side of it as well. My name is you know, anytime we have been a graduation, the man will continue to recognize and recognize. And on that, you have to teaching you. Oh, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. So, what I'm telling you, so that you're able to take note of those observations. Once again, I want to congratulate you on behalf of the Vice Chancellor for the remarkable achievement we made 2.5 years. Every father will continue to bless you with the necessary wisdom so that you continue to live well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, the Vice Chancellor. Thank you for the what the Vice Chancellor will give us to do ICT Dr. Anupa, please. Yes, the discussion that I hear, we were here. Of course, permit me to call on those that were given the task to motivate them. Ladies and gentlemen, please clap your hands together for Mr. Tunde Odubeso. Please go sit beside the chairman there. To accompany Mr. Tunde Odubeso is no other person but the college officer of Kogo, Mrs. Abibeli. Please join Mr. Tunde Odubeso. Without wasting further time, we have a junction where fully kickstarting the program. Permit me to call on the keynote speaker. Is no other person as a new title given to him as 2IC. Please clap your hands for Deputy Registrar Mr. Anupa. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much, MC. I know that much protocol has been developed since we started this program. So why the protocol was being developed, I begin to look at it, and I felt if I should adopt this protocol will break. That may lead to disarray of the presidency. And therefore, I refuse to adopt the existing protocol. I want to really do my own. On this note, I want to say thank you and recognize the Vice Chancellor, Professor Oladapo, our amiable Vice Chancellor, who is ably represented at this meeting by our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Adekunle. I also want to recognize the registrar, my registrar. They say I'm twice well, whatever name you call me, you are still getting it. The registrar that we have come to celebrate today, Mr. Oladapo Oke. Thank you, sir. Also, I want to recognize the author, Mr. Kabiru, who is ably represented here this afternoon, this morning, by the MD of Microfinance Bank, Mr. Kabiru, and Mr. Yakub Oyebowale. Thank you, sir. Also, in our midst this morning is the director of the University ICT, Dr. Kimona Adenu. Welcome. And I want to thank you for the information you gave me the other day. Thank you very much. On the table, I also see so many people. The registrar of federal, former registrar of the FT Shelley, who's currently and presently dwelling, Dr. Adebayo, they are most recognized. And of course, we have Mrs. Omorelola George, the former acting registrar of last week, who we have been together here. She has been a good person who has studied mentoring in some way. And of course, she also promised me to get me before this monkey. Thank you very much. And of course, I have my mentor, my boss here, my brother, Mr. Oladapo, former registrar of University, who has been here every time to mentor many of us. I recognize and openly declare your mentorship upon me. Thank you very much. Here also we have the Anupa chairman, Mr. Olusegun Obasan, and the former one too, who I handed over as the Anupa chairman, Mr. Francis Oyela. I will not be doing justice to this protocol without recognizing my organs who are here there. Because I see myself as the least apostle. But when opportunity comes upon you, there's nothing you can do. I have the most senior deputy registrar in the university who has come to talk here before. I like Mr. Abati and thank you very much. I have Mr. Barrister Oladapo Oke here, the deputy registrar church, and I have Mr. Oladapo, the president deputy registrar of management. Also have the president of MCR, Mr. Bamidele Odubesi. I want to recognize every PR here and every officer of the university who have come to great occasion to celebrate our registrar who have done really well in the past 2.5 years. On this note, I want to
lecture per se. By way of introduction, I want the ICT man to please follow as I go in this particular lecture. Like to start by saying it is a great privilege for me to be here this day for this important assignment. It is really a privilege, and not because of any qualification. And I make people to say that it's a privilege because going by all standards, there are many people among us here that can perform this assignment better than me. I therefore want to appreciate our registrar for this opportunity. I want to appreciate the Anupa executive who is organizing this particular program to celebrate our registrar. We are gathered here today to celebrate the milestone achievements of our dear registrar, Mr. Oladapo Oke, on the occasion of his 2.5 years in office as the registrar of our dear university. This period has been highly eventful as we have seen a lot of development in the university registry. This lecture, therefore, will explain some of the specific impacts, the challenges we faced during the operation, then the next line of action in order to move the university forward before the end of this tenure. Permit me to really appreciate the investment management, ever managed Vice Chancellor, Professor Oladapo, for giving the registrar the enabling environment to move the university registry to this end. His achievements are actually subset of the achievement of the Vice Chancellor and other members of the university management. We say thank you, sir. This appreciation will not be complete without really recognizing the support of all other stakeholders, especially all the registry staff in this 2.5-year journey. It's not easy. Registrar will call them, come and do this, come and do that, and they are there every time. May God support you all in all your endeavors. Before we go to the achievement of the registrar per se, I'd like us to look at the university registry and its function. Since we are looking at the achievement of the registrar, particularly in the registry, let us have a look at the university registry briefly and its function. According to Okuru 2019, I know many of us know him. Of the highest quality, it is where records are kept for retrieval as required, giving information that will enrich decision making and provide guidance that will facilitate a good ambience of operation through to the culture of excellence that universities are expected to hold. The records being kept are the activities of the registry. The records being kept are the activities of excellence that universities have, and the registry generation, impartation, and application of knowledge by ensuring that all those who are at the core functions of the university are assisted to be able to give the best. That's why they call us support staff. But we don't like that name. But the truth of the matter is that we are support staff. According to the Okuru 2019, he identified the following functions of the registry to be able to play its part well in university administration. One of its management of student academic records, management of student support services, management of staff matters, including welfare and well-being, of corporate services, academic planning. That's according to Mr. Okuru. Now, to be able to perform this very well, the registry is divided into different divisions, and I will not use so division. I will use our own as an example here today. In here, our division, we have academic affairs division, technical affairs division, admission division, human resource management division, council and legal affairs division, management services and general administration division. Apart from these divisions, registry activities fall across the university where some of the functions highlighted above are being performed. Now, at the beginning of his tenure in 2023, the registrar presented a 4-point agenda at a meeting of heads of registry department, and also at different fora he had the opportunity to present. Our appraisal of his commitment in the agenda, we equally determine his level of achievement in all these areas. As a form of reminder, here are his 4-point agenda outline. The first one is providing open access to knowledge and service information through disability of the university, and we intended to do that all that time by regular interaction with staff. To serve as an encyclopedia of right knowledge and information center of the university. Also by providing quality customer service and leadership in information management. His number 2 agenda then was repositioning the university administration through demonstrating expertise, high ethical standard, and competence. And intended to do this one by laying emphasis on administrative skills, in-depth knowledge of registry rules, work ethics, and being good thinker, empowerment through capacity training and regular posting and adequate exposure for staff. Is agenda 3, automation of the university administrative process. No university in the 21st century can survive without a robust ICT deployment, so we wanted to make ICT one of the tools to achieve the purpose of registry development. We want to make our career administrator highly efficient in the use of media and information communication technology, which I believe is the sort of duty we have been doing. And the final agenda is sustaining the university in the global agenda and best practice. We intended to do this one by making the registrar to play a cardinal role, registry to play a cardinal role in full compliance with extant law of the university. Also to promote a university administration that adapted to change, globalization, fairness, and fairness in the application of rules and conduct of official business for sustainable university functional goals. Well, at the end of this lecture, we will be able to do a checklist of his achievements and compare them with his 4-point agenda in order to be able to draw conclusion. On whether or not he has been able to achieve an appreciable level of his vision. Now let's look at the achievements. The achievements so far are divided into subsections, and I try to read them one after the other. If you look at the slide that we are having there, you see them. We have structural reforms, structural stroke, and I call it structural administrative reforms, policy innovations, digitalization of records, enhanced training and motivation, ICT initiative, office equipment and infrastructure, management of student activities, and compliance with global practice. What I will do is just to pick them one after another, give to them. Let's see the details of all these achievements. The first one is structural or administrative reforms. The registrar agreed to create Senate Affairs Division out of Academic Affairs Division with 2 standing units now, which has not been before. Also, creation of Management Services Division with 3 units. Those are inspiration. Let me talk about restructuring. We talk changing of names of the name of establishment division to Human Resource Management Division, changing the nomenclature of Council Affairs and General Administration Division to Council and Legal Affairs Division. Then we also facilitated the structuring of the Security Department. Thank God I can see the CS of Benji. We facilitated the structuring of the Security Department. Before, the Security Department used to be a single unit department, but now they have 2 standing units, kudos to the registrar and the management team. Another one is creation of central mailing system. Now that came out the last time to talk about it. Those are initiatives. Then the separated pensions office from staff training and welfare training. Now let's talk about policy innovation. Introduction of interview to quantitative position, which is one of the best practices in Nigerian universities these days. The investor has not been doing that before, but introduction of lateral conversion. Before, if you are 13 and then you want to come to a very familiar terrain, you be asked to go back to the baseline, which is 27. But because of his experience and his administrative argument, but no, should be. And it's now that when you want to come back to a familiar terrain, you just step down by 1 level. from Ponzi 13, step down to Ponzi store. That's lateral conversion. And because of that, many of our people have taken the advantage and they are now where they supposed to be. Then introduction of annual leave roster. Before you just come and apply for game, and for now say there must be annual leave roster where everybody will have written when they want to proceed on leave the following year. And it's been working very well. What you just need to do is to obtain, just try to what you have written, you package it together, you send it to him, you will approve it envelope. And then one innovation that is brought into it is that the registrar is not need to be approved. Once everything has been brought to him for the month, the HRM is left to now begin to dish out approval letter to everyone that wants your name fall within the list of those proceeding on leave for that particular month. That's innovation that we think is lauded and applauded. Thank you very much. Then we have making computer literacy a compulsory terminal of success, particularly because of the global trend of digitalization. It's better that for you to have promotion or for you to receive anything from the university, you must prove yourself to be computer literate. The era of PCC has gone before computer. Everyone should learn the global trend in digitalization, and they made that compulsory. And now, going for anybody, you must pass the computer test. If you don't pass, if you have 90% in another area, you are technically disqualified. And it's a good one because people are fixing up to make sure that they meet up with that demand of computer literacy. The adjustment in the structure of study guidelines for interview. Before now, you want to come for interview, promotion interview, it has been, 60 for that is 60 for the operator form and 40 from the real interview. But then no, don't get the best out of these people. Let us now make it 46. Your operator, whatever you do in your department, let's report the real one, 60, come and tell us here. Come and prove that you are the one that is the owner of that appraiser in your department. And it's a great one, which I believe will continuously move the university forward. We have so many policy innovation and we don't want to limit ourselves to that book now. Then another achievement is improve digitalization of records and services. This one we have all physical records of students at academic affairs are now being digitalized, and that's why we have some data entry officers. They are working every day to make sure that all records are digitalized. Anybody coming for anything and just go to the system and press it to see their information there. Staff record and human resource management division are being turned for electronic record. Many of staff record now are with ICT. That's where they can now very soon begin to access whatever they need to access online without really coming to human resource management to ask for any record. The services to students are being provided at the high speed because of electronic means involved. Many registry staff are now computer literate through the do it yourself policy of the registry. I like that policy. When I was in Asia at that time, many of us, try to rely upon the secretary. But he said, no, they took some secretary away. Okay, what's that? What happened? This issue of our work, how to say, no, is the era of it yourself. And many people don't even press computer, they bring it up. And today, they are doing their work by themselves. It's the great feat that we have achieved through the registrar. The era of treat yourself has now come in computer. Then enhanced training and motivation. That's another achievement. Enhanced training and motivation. Constant training for staff and other different platforms. University-wide training, registry staff association training, Anupa training like the one we are having now, and initiated training. You initiate some training also, and one is coming very shortly that every person initiated by himself. These are the academic issues to train up. Promoting on the job training for staff by ensuring that every staff perform their duties according to their schedule. There are sitting down without doing nothing as done. You must perform your work according to your schedule. Let's look at the achievement of this ICT initiative. The modeling of university website to be user-friendly by providing timely updates, institutional news, academic calendar, admission guidelines, and student-related announcements. Number two, facilitate regular interaction with staff and students online through our people portal, info.tasued.edu.ng. Information dissemination is now more structured and timely, reducing communication gap and promoting transparency. Number three, that on robust development and management of content on university website. There is now frequent updates of academic resources, publication of reports, showcasing developmental achievements, and maintaining archives that reflect classroom progress and contribution to education. Another one is live streaming of university activities. All of us we are aware of this. Our public lectures and legal institutional functions are streamed live on social media platforms such as Facebook and YouTube. For example, the program we are having now is being streamed for not to work, but at least within an aspect I have to get to watch. So then ensuring that the registrar officer as the rally point for information dissemination. Everything that is being done in ICT must order segments of the university. The registrar officer has the ability unit to play them and release them on time. Then another achievement is provision of office equipment and infrastructure. Adequately equipping the offices of the registrar and head of departments with good furniture. You go to any office of the registrar, you see furniture there. Provision of necessary office equipment for registry department, making the office conducive for administrative work when there is constant power supply. That's the clause. When we have constant power supply, our offices are conducive. And I would regular visit the registry department to see their work. The registrar can have share of in his office, just giving command. Frequently, he comes to the department to see what they do, to ask about welfare and know how to better their work. Of motivation for good service delivery. The only thing to contribution I can people from the interest of contribution is seeking extra to them. Not many extra will do this, go and manage one that allotted to you officially. Out of the home, we still ensure that we give his contribution every week. Another achievement is management of student activities. It's motivating the management to always conduct student union election every year, each. Then concentrating of student union leaders every year. Student union leaders are taken to the resource center to train them, which is making us to have peace on the campus because when union leaders know what's supposed to do, then they do not abuse it. When the purpose of the thing is not known, that's when we have abuse of because they know it every time. Empathy program at times when they saw that they do not well. Constant sensitization of students on dress code and morals, regular production of free identity for students, and so on and so forth. The next achievement is compliance with global agenda and best practice. Here we have development of administrators with sound administrative skills, in-depth knowledge of registry rules, work ethics, and people taker. Ensuring full compliance with excellent law of the university. Promotion of a university administration that adaptable to change, globalization, fairness, and fairness in interpretation of rules and conduct of official business for sustainable university. The provision of effective leadership in the registry at all times for school operation. And finally, the provision of right advice to vice chancellor for sustainable university function growth and regulatory process. Now, what are the specific impacts on the core registry division? We have seen the achievement generally, but specific impacts on each division of the registry. Let's look at them quickly one after the other. Academic affairs division now, facilitated signing of MOU between the university and CIO, which has resulted into the following in the division. Because of that MOU, they now have two working conditions: additional laptop for all eligible officers, uninterrupted power supply. Academic affairs division is like the president of the university. Where everyone of us will run to go and pray, to go and shout every time because of constant electricity supply. Online processing and timely delivery of services, transcript certificates of result, and the like are issued, as I mentioned. Instant graphic clearance, the creation of outlines for staff from customer service, academic affairs, online select and call and make inquiry. Deployment of data entry officers and national level data who are always working to the old and new records of students for easy process. Creation of a well-arranged archive for students doing to work. What are the specific achievements of the registrar? He ensures effective technical function to all committees to decide incidents and their division, ensure effective and timely clearance of final year students, ensure prompt attendance to student requests, facilitate good relationship between the division and ICT on student portal matter, and the like. The responsive response of the registrar on pertinent requests when they are stationary to go to you, so now paper by we have to bring our son from his office to ensure that he goes to school. From the additions of we have yearly and he ensure that we have yearly increase in the university admission quota by JAM. Having that we don't have more than 10 students, and that party they have 11 lecturers. You have like an admission box because of his experience and the of work. He has ensured that our quota is always being increased so that those departments will be provided for they can be given to students so that everybody will be enjoying the system. Then there is reduction in the incident of students without admission letter. Before, so many of them there have been a reduction in that. Partition of offices and provision of necessary equipment for smooth operation. Then increased close monitoring of admission process. The Northern Result is monitoring admission process every time. There are some that are not themselves admission officers all around in the name of admission academy. Instantly, you get them and bring them to our place. So go and return that money to that lady. Yes, you are gone. That has been his attitude. And many people who are not that good in that area, they their hand in their pocket and then be in peace. Then in terms of their division, they have been able to ensure adequate copy of handbook meetings, preparation of papers, including policy, billing for council compensation, ensuring prompt release of council decision implementation, giving prompt attention to the welfare of council members, and provision of necessary equipment and infrastructure for smooth operation. Therefore, human resource management division, what are the specifics? Ensuring good knowledge, interpretation, and compliance with the external rules of the university. Encouragement of in-house training for officers of the division. Any attempt better in-house training. The partition of office division, provision of necessary equipment and infrastructure for school operation, constant support in the provision of stationery during peak period of operation. And finally, management staff and general administration work at the impact registry. He ensures that all units in the division are fully functional. Then, give constant monitoring of the activities of the division. These are the clearing of the university campus because that is the root of that particular division. The provision of necessary equipment and infrastructure for smooth operation. Now, having said this, what are the institutional impact of this achievement? This achievement, what impact do they have on the university as a whole? After of them here, the one is faster service delivery. The realization of records and automation of process led to timely, efficient response to staff and student needs across the division. We have better transparency and accountability, improved documentation, communication channels, and clear policies enhance openness in operation and build institutional trust. Another one is high staff and student satisfaction. Enhanced work environment and responsive service boosted morale, leading to improved service experience for all stakeholders. Finally, the recognition at institutional and national level. That's one of the achievements, what the achievement has led to in the university. So the registrar reforms and innovation and commendation within and beyond the university, highlighting administrative excellence and visionary leadership. Now, I also believe that that's part of the reason why the doctor, that the child cannot be doing well, and then we just keep him like that. So it's part of the impact of our work on the university. There cannot be success without challenges, and then let's look at the following challenges in place and sequencing on this job. So the first thing is legacy system and resistance to change. You know, people are resistant to change, but we some want that. The budget is fun. That will be handshake upon them. So that whatever you are doing, I think is protecting you and doing your own, and everybody is being on the same page. Then balancing innovation with compliance. Because of some of this innovation that is coming on board, then people to comply or comply and they will deliver. But to balance innovation, we have a part of that. We are praying that the new agenda university for 24 life to come on board. For presently, we are still experiencing the next part. Political failure about staff is a great challenge. Some staff have found themselves that can make sure that at some officer, some people stole anything that cannot be added of. The challenge that will make the staff to put his head on the table and say, how can we solve this problem? Over and over, is your calling, is correcting, is your calling. Part of it is late coming, and make you understand that. Then this one is also important. This time, the register office and registry division is a great constraint. You have to come from patient to this place every time. At times, I can come 10 times a day. It's a great constraint, yes. Because now, in your office, because, please come. Those that are to the office, to see you know. And if the officer thinks that the office, it doesn't matter of slowly in, it's a constraint. This whole order is saying that there is there, that the office is there, and the like. So there's need for a random place where everyone will be to have access to the range. But our full function as people are the great challenge. There are so many things that can be done, but it's team of service that is not officially approved. Will not make the best to do something. Even though the next time with the approval followed by technology, implement some of the content of this document, but it will be formally approved and then it is printed and everybody will have it and they begin to operate. The problem is bureaucratic nature of operation at some level. At times bureaucracy will slow down operation. But when I look at it and believe it, the best manager knows what to do to ensure such looking. For example, to reissue certificate now and take so many months. Certificate that we issue in our university. That should be some gap that we bring in this area so that stuff can be done within short period and our students will get it and they go to lose. So bureaucratic nature of operation is a challenge. The inability staff is some offices and nature of the deployment. Some offices do not have address staff. So the university is trying, but cannot operation so that you know where they still need more staff. And nature of deployment. Deployment should be something that is foreseen ahead. Give it about 2-3 weeks for them to prepare and write and it over. Because of the urgency of our own work, just do it. Let's Monday report. It doesn't give room for adequate handshake and then you're handing over. Then the plan not handing over because of this incompletion. You appreciate if the best can do this and then we keep it strong. Then I'm going to depend. Despite the fact that we have the chairman and program on the register, for professional improvement is really more. Having said that, what are the way forward? Way forward. The first way forward is to give attention to all the challenges enumerated above. All those challenges provide solution to them. Then, full automation of the record and use of AI in administrative process. Full automation. Want to move forward, let us work. There are some universities that things are not, papers are not flying anywhere. When I was talking to a friend yesterday, sometimes you go to university. And I asked him, how many people said you were the how many staff you have in your division? And then, we have 20 staff. I think it's 6. I said, it's saying the units. I'm talking about the now. Really more than that. Because their work is done paperless. It is on net. They need it. And I not tell him, that we have now. Get to the point that at the time, this one is done, then our work will pass and then record. Then use of AI in administrative process. AI is the thing now. Administrators, they don't need to crack brain too much to get whatever they want to get done. Just go to the ChatGPT, go to Pilot, and then put sometimes we went to training in Lagos, and I was and because the speech of Vice Chancellor, but the speech of Vice Chancellor of Tasued, and you see what this thing wrote, that thing is sat down with the DC, and the DC was giving him details, mentioning specific and everything. So someone just bring that one up and come and stand there and read it and clap for him. It is AI has done it. So we need to be back on. As a matter of fact, when I was preparing for this lecture, let me I went to AI and give me the structure of a colloquium in this respect, and they gave me outline. And I begin to fill it back, and before I know it, I completed the assignment. So AI is a great tool that I was stating. Some people said that AI to be lazy. No. If you are the one that wants to be lazy, you can't copy everything from AI. You must put your initiative. Once if you not just give you the outline and you follow through and follow through it, you have done your job within the shortest period. So, then use of cloud-based student record system. We store our record on cloud, we can retrieve them every time we need it. Full digitalization and integrated management system, encouragement of more capacity building for them, always engage in stakeholder focused activity. This one is the stakeholder focus. Let's focus on achieving, making them to get best value for the money they are paying. Then set performance benchmark for each unit that should be benchmark. Use solo transcript or social management. Human resource management. Your minute of care and of learning in college 2 days, benchmark like that will help us to move forward. Then establish mentorship and leadership succession plan. There is need for mentorship and there is need for leadership succession plan. So it's one of those things that we want to invite the doctor to do so that we can get the best out of it. As I start to work with those people by little, we have these success tips to be raised. And I will put it there. Number one, success, please always take rest when you are. Yes, all work on those things make that problem. You have your life to live after your knowledge. So don't let the best assignment or necessary upon you. As you are doing it, to achieve success, ensure that you take care of yourself, take rest. Then build confidence, build trust in your officer, and let them also trust you. If there are thoughts on the two sides, then the administration will move forward. Always believe in your success, have hope, and the success of the best to have your tenure. That you can tenure and thereafter is to the best thing you don't fail. Then pray always for God's wisdom, protection, and God. And I'll do that done with it. Conclusion. There is no doubt that the happiest tenure of the registrar at the idea event is dedication and what living in are key points of success so far. And if it is like this now, the place for the registry before the end of the tenure is up. While encouraging it to do more, we would like to call on all stakeholders to continue to rally down in this transformative journey of the university registry. Before I say thank you, I'd like us to play this drama here, and all of us are going to get involved. So, when I say, "Eba mi pè é lórúkọ ṣègbè," let's go. Eba mi pè é lórúkọ Oladapo Oke ọmọ Òkè. Akínrọ̀ àti má ṣàyíyó. Àpàdá mi lọ́la. Eba mi pè é lórúkọ ọmọ ìmá ṣàbí. Ọmọ ṣẹ́gun ọ̀ràn. Ọmọ ìjà lóko àdàbà ń bá. Ọmọ àtẹnumọ́ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀. Ọmọ nílùú ọmọ aṣèwìtẹ́gẹ́. Ẹ bá mi pè é lórúkọ. Ẹ bá mi pè é lórúkọ. Lẹ́yìn náà jẹ́ pé àwọn òbítẹ́ ìdájọ́ ọ̀gá.
Please let us continue to give it to you. Ṣé ẹ gbàgbé tó àìsàn yìí? Speak to the program and handing over the mic to our moderator, of course. Registrar and all other principal officers we are present. We at the moderator's desk, we join in celebrating you and reflecting on your achievements. I want to thank God for this day and for the transparency which you have actually shown. It is not a common spirit of leadership for themselves, but we are just for the first in this regard. I want to thank Anupa that has provided the platform to do this. We are grateful for today and for what we expect. Call from the lead team is important with the person of Mr. Adefoya to give us a brief template how we are going about this project. Thank you, sir.
This is key. Let us start on the note of appreciating the guests and the other people, the Vice Chancellor, and of course, the zone capacity and ability as well. I appreciate the report. I appreciate my very particular colleague, Dr. Lebayo, the representative of the Postal, and not everything from the Israel Highways, Overstudy, and then Adia Mother, Mrs. George. I did all the registrars and Adia colleagues. This is indeed a very official occasion. The list start by thanking Anupa for packaging this. This is wonderful. And on behalf of all of us here, discussants, we want to appreciate Anupa for this great one. But the key actor here today is no other person than the our very regard registrar,
Mr. Oke. Some people call him Majola. I also joined the recording in Majola. And he did say the other time that he has actually seen the rubber to be a good report. Yeah, so he has done that. So we want to appreciate it. But we have information that we were appointed in December 2022 for 5 years. And this official application here for marks the halfway in the journey and the observed stewardship as the editor of this great institution. Well, 2.5 years definitely is not enough, or to give a reasonable assessment of performance of an auditor. It's also an official time to make amends where possible and get aligned with the vision and mission earlier implication. I'm aware that the registrar actually packaged our vision and mission at the point of entry, and its achievement or the way it has been going are probably reflected in what Mr. Registrar has said or has been able to defend. Well, my responsibility, I mean, dear colleagues, we have listened very attentively to the keynote speaker, a very distinguished former Deputy Registrar Human Division of the Registry. He has thoroughly highlighted the 4 points as touching the registry generally. The latter part started with the administrative structure and then went further to discuss the other things. And he has also given a strong reflection of the activities of our department in the past 2.5 years. Our responsibility here is to our responsibility here as discussed and is to facilitate discussion, provide commentary, summarize the key points, and stimulate engagement for people discussion. They are well known to you, so from the keynote address, which was masterly delivered, I was able to jot some points, or we were able to jot some points to discuss and I could see that the variables were actually noting one of the things. And I will give the summary of this. But let me just add this as part of the criteria that we will apply. In assessing their assets. As the former registrar, of course, I know that the tasks are indeed arduous and extremely challenging. My colleague here will also therefore, part of the quality required to succeed as registrar, which are highlighted, which have been criteria for assessment. I think in addition to what my brother has said, I will mention one of the things to add those ones that they are not mentioned. We will take them together. I will come back to summary. I will take everything together. So providing leadership requires the following. And I want us to take note so that in our assessment, we can as well see whether the Ajuroba are actually will, by way of advice along the line with anything. Knowledge capacity or added drive in our applications. And effectiveness in decision making. Effectiveness in an interpersonal relationship. Obviousness to alternative views and opinion. Is it that once you have said your own, you don't listen to any other person?
That's the final. So we have to also look at that in our discussion to see whether able registrar has been valuable to other people's opinions. A check for effective guide and motivation. Strong communication skill, I think that has been established. The DBC who will be represented also mentioned that commitments to ethical behavior. The speaker actually mentioned that as well. Ability to inspire and empower others. He has mentioned that through the issue of promotion, because I could see even in the last promotion exercise, there was need for some interviews along the line. And I saw the enthusiasm in the registrar when somebody was asked a question and then it was a really one time. I noticed his countenance and you always getting to a point of saying, survive now, survive now, survive now. And I think I want to note that, and I want to really say that he's committed to that. Capacity to envision the future, and adaptability, resilience, and positive collaborative work, adherence to concept of integrity and accountability, digital compliance, which the speaker has really touched. And I'm sure that he is actually working in that manner. Emotional intelligence is another thing, understanding his own emotion and being able to understand the emotion of others. The talking of empathy and building strong relationship in this regard. Then continuous learning, that is training, and I know that it's been in tune with best practice. Now, I want to talk about some of these challenges that, we can talk about pressure outside the register. Registrar is expected to relate beyond the register in the performance of his responsibility. And as such, our discussions will examine the registrar's relationship with other officers of the university and how it has been coping with the demands. One, I mentioned the office of the Vice Chancellor and other principal officers. The truth of the matter is that it requires a lot of wisdom to deal with these categories of officers, especially the Vice Chancellor, who sometimes may be dictatorial. Thank God in our case there, our Vice Chancellor is well known. I have no doubt in my mind that the registrar is able to weather the storm. There must have been some storm along and they have a way of talking about it. I remember when we were getting the registrar would say, let us talk it. I'm not the way to do it. That's the wisdom that is required to do it. Then let's look at the relationship relationship with the public council. Incidentally, I'm currently the deputy registrar in charge of council and legal affairs. I can confirm to you that the registrar is highly respected and rated high in his competence, minutes presentation, and interpersonal relationship with Senate. I'm not too conversant with that today, but I have heard from a particular forum that Senator had always commended the presentation of minutes of meeting at Senate, and that the registrar has a good mastery of the university law. That was language used. That was language. Teaching and non-teaching staff dichotomy. The registrar would discuss, we remember that we discussed along this line the relationship with the academic staff. It requires a lot of knowledge to be able to along this line. But I've seen, I've seen situations in which the registrar, the registrar has always, endeavor to meet up with the necessary requirements. But let me say that even the company we are talking about, I want to put on record a passage of a law guarantee one representation of non-teaching staff on hands to do communication. This is not the situation in other clients. In other clients, you have to, they just tell you the door is open. Everybody, you just go to congregation, do your election, whoever comes in is the representative. But here I can see that that dichotomy is minimized. Carefully, I have noted that we can have this, and then let's look at this collective going to add to what my brother said. He has mentioned institutional challenges. Part of the institutional challenges is the nature of the leadership of the institution, which we have also discussed. I think the position of the people you are working with at the level of the management. Finances, that's the project constraint you mentioned. Requirement of the pro-chancellor's approval, other project constraints, and then infrastructural deficits, such as the electricity, which he has mentioned. I'm praying that the 24/7 electricity project system from the Then the stakeholders as well. The relationship of registrar with the stakeholder, pressures from the politicians in terms of employment, that can be a great challenge. And placement. Some of the people will say that, look, oh, they want to come on the market, not even minding what the situation is about. They just believe that as far as they are concerned, you must just continue to give job to their people. Staff union, I think this also we have to mention. How has the registrar been coping with the staff union? I was talking to the topic one day when there was a slight argument along the line, perhaps the condition of service. And I could see the wisdom, I could see the way he was addressing the issue. I said, look, this man is and he has actually been able to cope with the situation. The immediate local community, those people around us here, and so on and so forth. Then let me talk about police, incompetent staff. That's the major issue. The incompetence is a big challenge. When you have a staff working with you that is not competent, you're in trouble. Especially in the area of minute writing and whatever. You have to write a minute, and you have to write and rewrite. You're in trouble. It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. And I think the way out of that is that even at the point of entry, we should begin to examine how we manipulate employment of staff to be sure that those we are bringing in are those ones that are trainable. You cannot expect everybody to be fantastic at the point of entry. I mean, it's not that you now bring in somebody you will do, you must come. Once you're able to see that from the outset, then you know that something is wrong. So, the competent staff, there is saboteurs in our applications. There are some people who will be saying, this of things there. Yeah, sure, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And I know God will grant it the knowledge to be able to cope with that situation. Then an officer or a register, you run into serious problem. You run into serious problem. You expect solution even from students. That's the truth. I'm being frank. Even from students, you expect to see solution, and if you are not the disciplined staff, then you rubbish yourself. And I think a lot of us can also just blame that. I want to remember something. Actually, you go there. Because it's always difficult. It's not even actually, even the rules. So that's a bigger challenge that I think we can also look at. And coping with river stickers, saboteurs, those who will come to you very early in the morning and say, oh, my God, even if what you are saying is not correct, but because they want people, because they want to impress the registrar, they will start calling from time to time adds to what he has said. Now, the summary of what the speaker said, so that we can take everything together. We started off with the registry and the functions, and then the issue of support staff and whatever, representing those of us who are in this category. I always say that within the university we have service departments, we have academic departments. We are not support staff to anybody. We are support staff to ourselves. Those of us who are here are support staff to the registrar, and we belong to the service department. Our other colleagues belong to the academic department. Then he went on to talk about some of the requirements that the registry should have. And then he talked about all the achievements of the registrar. He touched about all the units, all the divisions, what they have been able to do within those divisions. And for instance, he mentioned the HRM, where it used to be the establishment division, and now human resource, trying to inject some trendy policies or trendy ways of improving the activities in that division. Then we talked about restructuring of the security department, now being brought into two units. Then we talked about the central system. We talked about the pension office that is now separated. Then interview for the PAL. It's very important. It's very important because it has been established that even at the process of, at the point of appraisal, 80% of staff appraising an individual are not sincere. That's the truth. Because by the time you start assessing, you prove, in fact, you find some people who put A all out, as if that person cannot even make a mistake at all. It's going to be A all out. And at the end of the day, by the time you are now summing up everything, you are putting about 98, you are putting about 97, but somebody who cannot even write a complete minute. So that problem is the one. So the issue of interview, I think it may sound that they are getting us problems. The state is very good because once you know you are going to have an interview, you try to make sure if it has not happened, you will just sit down without asking, relying on the appraisal that has been made and has given you 98%. And at the end of the day, by the time you not compare, you will not be able to function. Then this speaker also mentioned the interview for different version that has been in place, annual leave rota, that has now become, that has now been done in work, such that the HRM will now be issuing the letter as discussed. The computer literacy, which he said the registry is also falling in line with. Then he mentioned the scoring guidelines in the process of the interview as well. And that's where you find the 40-60, just like I said the other time. If you have relied on the departmental appraisal, then when you talk about digitalization of the registry, talk about the data entry officer. Yes, we talked about training, then we talked about management of student activities, and so many other achievements like that. Then he mentioned specifically the impact on the university generally, that is the impact of all this things that the speaker has mentioned. How has it impacted the university generally? The impact has been felt through the students, has been felt through the staff, it has been felt even at the level of, internationally, such that recognition. And he now mentioned the achievements of the various departments, the various divisions in the university. So this is the summary of what the speaker has given us. And we are going to be guided by this, by all these things that we have highlighted. I'm sure my people here are ready to talk about all of this. But I want to like the chairman who has left, let's make frankly, though with some degree of decorum, it's a way of advising because that's why we are here. Question from it.
Thank you for that summary. With you, yes, we've highlighted the lecture and we are giving us some insight. What the achievement of the registrar was and still doing. So, as an experienced administrator, with what the government institution, with what the private institution. From that background, sir, what do you think is now left to be done to take Tasued to that height? Since the registrar has put in 2.5 years and still left with 2.5 years. What is the roadmap for the way forward, sir? 3 minutes. Or 2 minutes.
Okay. But I think the roadmap is very easy. It's going to be a product of what we have been discussing here. Things. And then we are able to also touch on the areas that we would expect the registrar to work on. I think the global thing to do is to ensure in all ramifications how this university will become better recognized internationally. And I think there has been a step in that order through the website, which he also mentioned. The website has been updated from time to time, and then the international recognition is definitely coming. And you also said, by way of that perhaps those achievements are part of the reason why this place is being adopted as the federal university. So my advice is very simple, is just to analyze all these things that we have talked about, and then for the registrar to also be in touch with the relevant governments, the relevant stakeholders in the university from time to time, and then start from the experiences, be open to all of them, and then be able to draw one or two, advice or whatever you seem to get from them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Some of the achievements of the registrar they mentioned, each one of which brings in the validation in terms of writing and everything is doing so much. Two was the registrar injected into the system. When we talk about staff welfare, how do you rate the performance of the registrar?
Thank you very much. But we are two academic of the group. But what you said about staff welfare presently, I don't know. The two IC before you listen, two IC before you. I know if you tell somebody two IC, you will not be saying the truth. Because trying to keep favor of your guy, we may not say the truth. And yeah, we tell him the truth. But trying to staff welfare, presently I can't even give them 50%. Because one, the registrar is the member of the management. It's changing. And apart from salary, I know people are here listening to what apart from salary, I don't know any welfare that is coming. The registrar is here to tell us if apart from salary, on the monthly salary, like if there's any welfare that can be packaged. Because one, in all these days, all this we will give you a year, nothing has showed up. For 2021, this standing with them, nothing has happened. So we need to improve on this. We cannot say this is how we make it that we're living. 2.5 years on the line. And please, you want to also know that we have a feedback. You see, I was worried that the BBC this thing was unfortunately left. Because the think that we have a think that behind this thing that perfect all this money coming in. And the investment is now buoyant. So this will start solving problem one after the other. So on start welfare, they still need to go back. We are still halfway each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Oladapo. Mr. Kodayo, do you have anything to say concerning what Mr. Oladapo
Thank you very much. I want to thank the QIC of the Registrar for all that he enumerated and shared with us. And I was hearing a 21st century administration system of the registrar. My registrar, I give it to you. You are changing the narrative. You see, it's Nigerian system, university education system of management has been in a quagmire of the Western education handed over to us by the colonial master, both institutional framework and all that. And it has been what we have been in. You came and you always talked about global best practices. And I'm wondering, I sat before I came, I was wondering, what are we going to really compare? Is it with the history where we are coming from, with the present, or with the future? And where do we see the future? Best practices around the world. And it has taken your time, effort to have not only, know all these things and you have put it to practice. You have shown by what you have done that indeed we can change the narrative in Nigerian education system. And Registrar, I give it to you. Coming to what my sister is asking about the welfare of the staff. Well, from my observation, sir, you gave and you started promoting stakeholders and your team engagement. And you have been talking. It has been all, it has been all involvement. And I believe that it is engagement of stakeholders and all this all-inclusive involvement that will bring solution to no matter the challenge. Welfare of staff It's not where it used to be. And that is very evident. But it can be better. And that's exactly what we believe that from here after, a lot of effort and action will go into it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. This is Joe. Do you have anything to add to what I can say?
I've spoken by the two leaders that I think concerning Tasued, I think during the tenure of these 2.5 years that our I think Tasued has gone a long way. And then we have come back. Give it to him because he knows his onion among the registrars. And Tasued also knows among other universities that if they want to compose, now that we are become federal now, I know we are going places. Too much. Yeah.
Thank you very much. This is also one of the achievements of the registrar was thanks to the provision of office equipment infrastructure. Do we have adequate office equipment infrastructure as one into the event? Thank you very much, ma'am.
Registrar a great achiever and is the leader for excellence. Talking about the office tools and equipment, we do not have enough office tools and equipment presently, but in most of the offices in the investment, we can probably say the management has tried a lot to make sure infrastructure, tools, equipment are well taken care of. Although, even in my present office, I have that kind of challenge. But I give it to my registrar. One of these days, just last week, just put it to me. I'm now enjoying your new one. I said, I'm enjoying it too, but sir, I don't have table and chair. I mean, immediately, that company about my registrar, immediately provide solution. It's like, oh, I told him, my CEO has written letter, and I had that. The CEO was told that there's no table, there's no chair. Yeah, it's not what I said. How be your team? So I went ahead to look for him and told him. So he said you should see him and I think to do something about it. And that is who our registrar.
Thank you very much for your suggestion. This is absolutely. How well have you trained in terms of doing it yourself? Start truly computer training. Are we moving forward in that way? Please, your suggestion.
Thank you, ma'am. I want to appreciate the Anupa and the Registrar for putting up this and training. To answer that question, ma'am, on my own hand here, I'll say to my best knowledge, most on the scale of 90%, let me say most staffs are on that value of it yourself. It's a thing of the moment they introduce that mix yourself, I as a person, I see it as an opportunity to actually develop myself. I was not that vast in computer, but I have to take it up as a challenge. And even now, if I don't have the certificate, I do virtually all the work with the office than myself. But to now go along with other stuff, to many that I have conversations with, I would say most staffs are actually ICT compliance. completed. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, discussants. So far, so good. We cannot have all the questions, and we don't have all the time. I'll just put it to the audience now to ask any of the discussants, or at another stage, you may have to ask the registrar because actually call it. But at this stage, we want to hear from the audience. We want everybody to participate. We want to find out what will on the policy on staff assessment. But we want one or two questions that briefly to staff assessment. Yes, is there anybody? The policy of staff assessment. One person more. Staff assessment, either of interview to starting or the method of management having 60% of them. Okay. Online question. Okay, that's 2. And 3. When? I don't have online question. Concerning just like somebody online. No, there's somebody online, so let's take that from him or her. Because those dogs from Oladapo Oke. Let me join other Oladapo Oke, who is the president registrar of Tasued. He is my mentor in all aspects. The meantime reports as 8 others who are come before you. If it comes up, the question: how can the registry unit get more representation at the public council level, considering that of the academic representation to the registry units? Okay, we'll keep that for the registrar. The question still remains staff performance assessment. Please let us limit ourselves to what we are asking. Is there any other question?
Thank you very much. On the my senior professor, I agree to you. On the issue of staff assessment, I want to say that someone that has been in this system for a while, we have opportunity of comparing this to a group and others that have done. I want to give it to the registrar. They have done very well. In the past, your assessment will be on your connection to the power that be. In the past, your assessment will be on your connection to the power that be. Using myself as an example, it is those who that make me. And it is because it's a lawyer and knows too much. He's very close to the people over there. So, we thank God. This particular regime, the assessment had been cleared. One other thing that I would like to ask is that for those that are coming behind us, it is good you start assessing yourself before you get to what you can build. It is good you look out, go outside there, have more education, so that at the end of the day, when your partner assessment will come up, you'll be able to perform. At times, The two shift go to, and there is nothing you can do. In the past, they have said, if you don't have anything to want to approach into this university, you can't apply for this position. What does that can you do? Whereas that is cheating will push. You know the cost of it, but because they are an employer, what do you do? Thank you very much.
Concerning staff assessment, it is seen that in various departments, division or units, there is difference in the process and the assessment of their analysis about their member, their staff is going to be. But for example, previously, if I am working at a council and legal affairs, and you rated me 70 when I get there, and I got to HRA and I'm being rated 65. The don't same year anymore. The subsequent year. Based on that difference, we say one is being just or one is not being just. Looking at the performance previously and the present performance, just opposing the person rating. We have the PX and appropriate rating. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, I think one thing we should appreciate is that we have what we call individual differences. Where you were rated 70, so many factors would have gone into it. The peculiarity of the job you are doing, your relationship and your child, your commitment to work generally. Whereas in the subsequent years or the subsequent present year, you are now being assessed by another person in another place. The environment has changed. The work you are doing has already changed. And of course, the person you are going to lead over there also has his own peculiar way of assessing people. Where you were coming from, that place, I mean, the person assessing you there to be liberal. As whereas the other person, to be the type of person that's very firm, and then we want to assess you, on what you actually doing. So that difference, there's no way you can compare. Getting a uniform thing, the only way which has also been highlighted is that the only way that can be normalized is the restructuring that we've been talking about. As a 40-60 kind of arrangement. All right? Even if you have been badly at the level of the department, your performance at the level of the interview will prove that better than whatever you have been given. So we have to be on our toes and make sure that we do our best wherever we are. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to also, based on what we've done, we know that we are present for 3 years are being used for promotion. Now, in this situation, I spent about 5 years in an office. The new return, maybe from 50, 52, 54, 55, for that 5 years, and now at 67. And now, in the year of the promotion, it's not being moved to another terrain entirely. And now, for that year's appraisal, because new that area is a college officer or his own PR now giving 58 or 42. Now, how will the appraisal committee help such a person? That's because Because most times it happens. And then the person who has been doing fine, the new person that is now that just recently, maybe like, let's take an example. I worked in a period, I supposed to go from A1 to A. And now, what in the establishment of this, I've been getting 70, 65, 56. And now I was taken to begin human resource, human resource management. And then my director was rating. And because there was an issue, he gave me, that was the help my promotion. He gave me 45 and said the recommended for promotion. If not because some of those GL who are at that upper appraisal committee knows the director, knows about everywhere. That's the arrogant promotion. Because you are the one that said, if it's about that we know, this man should be reassessed. This is not what he should be given, not at the point of it. So it happens to people. If we have some colleagues that doesn't have that, how will the appraisal board and the registrar and this talk? Please.
Okay, well, actually, you have asked a question and you have always answered the question yourself. Now, we said that last year there were issues. What exactly was the issue? Is it based on competence? Is it based on your inability to perform adequately well? Or there are other issues that are not even known to anybody? What is important is that in a particular year, you will be assessed based on your performance. But again, don't forget that you have opportunity to appeal. You have opportunity, I mean, if you think that you have been partially rated or that you have not been properly rated, you can make your appeal. There are conditions on that form where you can write. And at that point in time, at the level of the appraisal committee, they will look at the decision can be taken. So it's not that somebody can just, decide to look you badly, and then that will determine everything. So you have opportunity, that column is there, that particular portion is there, that you should also comment. So then you can put your comment very quickly. And I think the committee should be able to look at that and take a decision.
Thank you. If I am to make a contribution, I would say there's the need for e-education on the scoring criteria. Some places, somebody who has no staff ordering will be scored 5. No staff, I hear they say control of staff 5. So we will make the education on this, particularly all officers who will be scored. The previous question was on welfare. I want to throw it back to the audience. I want people to signify their interest if they want, what they want to raise. Questions we want, not storytelling, please. Direct questions, please. 2 questions, Mr. Lawal.
Thank you, sir. It's unfortunate that I'm coming as a last person to ask questions. That's what I'm telling you. And I want to commend my senior colleague that I've mentioned or spoken about staff welfare. My registrar, sir. I want to please pay your importance. So please look at it critically on my behalf. Before we came on board, some of us, and you, both enjoys some high level of staff welfare. Now you are in the saddle. Please, àdá tí wọ́n ti di oko alára tó dán, wọ́n fi òkúta jẹ òjò dán, tó bá lórí tí kò ní. I want to bring the issue of this international training. What you know, Bagbe, In content, if you don't call me international passport, I want to take this opportunity to ask about what happened to the 30% entitlement to non-teaching staff in the church fund. That is, yes, we are not entitled to request for that money to go for further studies. And we are been sponsoring ourselves to go for further studies. Some of us are PhD students. And now, they said that money is supposed to be meant for us to embark on local and international workshop, conference, and all this. We want international conference now. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Our dear Registrar for the success we have supported. I hope personally, I don't know if I want to say it. I've used my own as an example. I think if we are able another unit or I don't know how to get fine. Students are there but 1.5 years and I was posted there here. Nothing, no of no I will be next year. I was just talking about no next year came to Australia. We said one thing for us, and the place was later, we couldn't get these people, but the said clinic as that place. And so we're not out. Problem is but later they give them we were borrowed two of the offices was they're giving one, not services about 12. So after that, a share was brought. I mean, 2 shares were brought. The share was down, that was given. The guy back from the and I don't think it is right. So what I want to say now, I don't know if it's bad.
Away from being seen as support staff. They are about making us well-grounded and established in our field. But the problem is, within the university environment, if as an administrator you apply for sponsorship for educational listing, they will tell you you don't have that form for sponsorship. and the academics enjoy that sponsorship. Even they give them leave with pay for to further themselves. And we stay as the support staff. If we don't get that same level of education, that same level of opening to this laudable stepping stone to improve ourselves. You have always told improve yourself. Why the are not training themselves? They get this one. How they do is give them that desire to support. How they do it match or meet that need they want us to meet up. Thank you.
I think that it's time to we don't want to run the university account while we are trying to celebrate and share on the achievement. So we must make the time. The program is 1 p.m. We are stopping at 1 p.m. So I'll use this opportunity to thank all those who have contributed or participated in this discussion session. And we pray that God will continue to guide and direct us. The circumstances are not the same. What it was before may not be the circumstance now. And the wisdom to face that the method will give up. However, thank you for your participation. And I want to invite the registrar to talk to us. Who have made it possible for me to occupy the chair, through the support, collective will of colleagues, other people in the management and the council. I also want to thank Anupa for providing this platform where we can talk, assess what we have done, and through the challenges that are still lying for our attention. I want to particularly thank the Vice Chancellor, the man who has been the Chief Executive, the man who has been the M of affairs, leading this university, and I and other colleagues working with him to achieve the university goal. It has been a family affair from day one. And I will jokingly say that anytime we meet at management, we laugh and laugh. But I thank God that our laughter has always brought results. So whatever the achievements of the registrar, like the ITIC, twice a year, I think the collective effort of those of us in the management. And I want to also add, there is nothing I have done since I became the registrar. Not being a collective effort and joint decision of my other colleague, the deputy registrar. Everything is brought to their table where we look at it together, and at the end of the day, we jointly modify what you now saw as the final clean copy have been seriously debated, have been modified, been moderated by them. And that is why we've been together on the same page. So I give it to them. It is not about me, it's about all of us. I also want to appreciate them because when it was time to contest for the position, all of them met in their wisdom and said that they are stepping down for me to go on. At that time, it was qualified candidates, but they decided that I should go ahead since I've been previously appointed as the acting registrar. So I want to use this opportunity to thank them because it means therefore that they have provided the platform that I ran. And after that, until now, they have remained a very strong pillar. And there have been a kind of unity of purpose, unity of action. Of course, we have been the same family that we were known to be before I became registrar. And the man here too that I want to especially recognize. When I saw him, I was very happy. He's not in the registry, but he's also part of the registry. Because there's no how you can talk about 21st century university administration and you can't talk about, you not talk about technology. And the man providing us with the platform that we are using is here, the director of ICT. So I appreciate it. The relationship between me and the director had been before this place. We met at the political level there. But when you see him, you don't even want to say that the politician. Dr. Adenubu is a politician. And I know him, he's well valued there. Yes. But thank you very much because he has been been collaborating with us. We were together on the issue of digitalization, together on the issue of and when University of Lagos launched their 24-hour what called transcript, launch 24 hours, meaning like in so many years of academic record, then yes, I have something in the office. And by the time you put that thing on the table, today, we're better for this. Sometimes ago, we came here to assess that when that project was 1 year, came back to this year, I think it was in this, we did, the council chamber, we did 1 year assessment. And then it has been a success. We even, there's no how we want to talk about the university without the academic affairs office. Yeah, when I was going there, using technology to provide access to functionality of information. That's why our American course, the ICT, can go something that you cannot break. We just have to that office, that division cannot be division officer, division of division. You do addition of that ICT, academic affairs, yes, fashion, it's not here. But the one, yeah, yeah, and then if I also like is here, what will tell us that to vet students. Okay, take it about this data. Tell you that ICT program. So it has been our what I call it. It has been our service provider. Same time, somebody who has been there for to obtain the height, and maybe because of the previous internship between the director, has been a very good. And then again, also, when we talk of paperless administration, there must be a handshake. Recently, we provided Wi-Fi through this, what we call it, to our offices. I think right now, it's functioning well. By the time we have 24/7, we'll definitely enjoy it. Okay, don't worry. We talked about discount rule. That is, people don't want to obey regulation, law. They don't want to observe. If there's any regulation, they want to, cut corners. That is the problem we have. And that is where, and that the administrator must put his feet down to ensure that some distant rule shows the telling my other colleagues, please try to mention and see me as the registrar. Capacity the legal market at okay. By the time I come to that office and sit down on that chair, it's not that okay. I don't do in that chair, but the registrar. And that is why Blackie will come to me and I'll tell him, young man, I'm going with you. Go and do what I have to do. But if it is that okay, wow, only what's my side. If you know my people come up aside of those do. And you're getting to know you by go. So and when I sit on that chair with the registrar, I always make sure that that yellow book is beside me. So when you want to argue, I just pull it. Show me where that thing you are talking about is in this book. And they say, okay, I'm going to take my son on here. But so please, whatever we have been able to do is because all of us have agreed to now, play according to the rule. The time of the old time has passed away when we do things the way we like. Now we have about 90 to 95% compliance with university rules. I give it to all of you because without followership, there cannot be what? There cannot be leadership. So now we are coming to it. And I want to tell you that there is no in politics, there's no 99% loyalty. There has to be 100%. Please, whatever we are doing, don't allow the thinking, let's see to spoil your good image, your good efforts, your values and the core principles that will make you a very brilliant and performing administrator. Integrity is one of those things that we value. Confidentiality is also one of it. Accuracy is part of it, and creativity. If you are creative, you are accurate, and you have integrity, and you maintain confidentiality, so you are a perfect administrator. You will definitely be a toast of any registrar. You understand? So please, I want to tell you that when I first started, I was having issues with some of you. But by this time, I think everything is trying to fall in line. And that is why I say thank you very much. Well, apart from that, we have tried to do some kind of office reforms, office practice reforms, and we have seen how best that is going. And, as a matter of fact, the Vice Chancellor himself will always acknowledge the registry for standing by the administration to achieve most of what we have been able to achieve. In this university, we are lucky that we have a Vice Chancellor who has the interest of everybody at heart. It's not somebody who creates dichotomy between whether teaching and not teaching. No. Whenever issues are on ground, we resolve it and we take it the way it comes. It's not like that in all institutions. I want to tell you that even though there are still one or two areas we need to cross, we need to cross the team. They are. But I want to tell you that we'll be having so good, so nice with the Vice Chancellor leading the board management. And of course, our professional growth through CPD and teamwork have been very fantastic. We created we have the welfare office, who is also in charge of the internal training program. We have Mr. Lite that have also called our senior prefect. Yes, when you refer to Tadia, I also wanted to refer to Lite, our senior board. He has been there, been assisting us. That's one thing. When Dr. Kawade was leaving, I handed that portfolio to him. I will take my letter to him. I have been doing perfectly well, being in charge of our internal training program. We are very lucky to have you, sir. Thank you very much. But see, a lot has been said about this what do you call it? Foreign so that is why I have to ask Mr. Wale, Wale Abiola, regarding the to come back here. There's something I want you to explain to you. See, there was a time when the university system can cope or dictates how our training program go in terms of whether we want to go to Ghana, we went to the United States of America, but suddenly something changed. You are not aware of the fact that that thing has changed. And it was not as a result of internal legislation of the management. So while this talk on, I want you to explain exactly the recent legislation through via the tech funds and how you can benefit the window that we can still explore to enjoy. So I want you to explain what has changed and have brought up to this present level we are all complaining about. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My name is Father.
He's the best officer of tech fund. Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to start with the established protocol. On the issue of tech funds, we have the project and the academic staff meeting. And I believe we all have to become academic staff and the academic staff in and development. Academic staff meeting and projects. Now, yeah. So the
sponsorship and the conference. On the two aspect of it, that the want to go for PhD, the test one has now decided that it's only for academic staff. Only for academic staff that you can sponsor for any PhD. And people, the last workshop that we attended in April last month, you cannot just go to any university now to go and attend any. We have only 3 universities in Southwest. We have Maryland, UI, and Obafemi Awolowo University, and we have Confidence as the only private institution. Any staff that want to go for any PhD, they have to apply to those 3 universities. The next one is the conference. We are facing a lot of challenges, a lot of queries, a lot of issues on this conference. Like what the expert said some minutes ago, he said then it can take about 5 or 10 now to go to US, Dubai, and the like. We will have loved to do the same thing, but we discovered that they had a lot of challenges. There was a time the university was suspended on the 10th month because we do not account to them how we spend this money. And yes, the truth now is if they approve 10 million for a particular staff, they want you to give that 10 million to that staff. So we don't need to go and send it to 20 or 30 people to go to that company. First time I know what we have to do now is let's share it according to the association. For instance, for ICANN, let them bring 10 people. Anna, bring 10 people. Anupa, bring 10 people. Bring 10 people. So that we can now rotate something. And meanwhile, another thing is that you can only apply once in 3 years. And 3 years for principal officers. Yes, once if you apply last year, you can't go this year. It's not that you can still apply. Another challenge that we are facing is the duration of the conference. For instance, this one to apply for conference in September, you should have submitted your papers in maybe 3 months to that. And you know, we have to do some administrative process here. We have to go and look for the function of the previous approved conferences. Look for the advance statement so that you can show them that this is how you spend the last days. So these are the challenges that we face on this technology issue. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I just want to explain, and he has done that. You will remember that we went to the US. I was part of the team that went to the US. By the time we came back, that money was meant for just a handful number of staff. But about 20 or more of us, 20 staff funds, we went to Ghana, it was also spread. That alone had given us problem. Result, we could not retire the fund. I remember that some staff were asked to come and fill the tech fund. Yes, and we did. And then by the time you are giving paper to fill, and you are seeing 10 million naira in front of your name, you now begin to ask, I'm not feeling 10 million naira. But under your own 10 million naira, Oladapo the law, who are in the so that does that. But for purpose of transparency, accountability, we can no longer continue like that. So the university was suspended, we are issued query, and we answered. After some time, I think it was last year or so that the suspension was lifted. So please, it's not that the management is depriving you of overseas training, but just that the system has been usually only to change.
Either she management will change you, she management will change your ring. It's just that. Again, you talked also more about staff welfare, talking about careers, talking about office furniture, rest like that. Let me tell you, there was a time in this university where you will sit down in your office and they will bring papers for you to sign. Owó sẹ́pẹ̀ àbí owó teaching practice, owó this, owó that. Even our cooperative, they will bring the paper. They will say you are entitled to borehole loan, car loan, roofing loan, all those things. Now, these are things that have been in the system, but within time, it also faded away. So some of us who have been part of standard management, either through corporate or meeting and meetings and something like that, you understand why these things have changed. You know, university administration is different from our public service system. What you practice yesterday can change today. Who mentioned it in one of his books, said at the university administration is about consensus of authority and authority of the consensus. And this if people that are capable of making law, that have been entitled to do so, met and decided that certain regulations will change. By the authority, it became what happened yesterday became history. And so whatever they have adopted today is now, so there have been some things in the past that we are enjoying. And over time, managements have actually changed the rules. They are no longer taking teaching practice. They are no longer taking money from part-time. They are no longer taking, and these are part of the things that make the university kept us rolling. So those are gone. They are collecting them, and they are still collecting. There are some academic staff that are not collecting teaching practice at all because they are not experts in education. If you don't have a certificate in education, even if you are a professor, you cannot, be paid teaching practice, allowance, everything like that. And then if you are not teaching in part-time, you are not directly teaching in part-time program, you are not entitled to part-time year-round. That time, whether you are teaching, you are not teaching, people will collect. So let me tell you that it's not Banjo that changed this, and they changed people before Banjo came to the vice chancellor chair. And so we cannot go back to that. Already changed. The issue of furniture. Well, let me again say that the problem is still the same problem of funding. By the time we were coming, where we are coming from, the College of Education, we've been having that challenge. When we became university, have been there up till now. But recently, what we are trying to do, that we are having some kind of intervention. We are upgrading our furniture system. By now, all deputy registrars in the university are not complaining of furniture, even the right one, they're using the right one. Here, we also started something, buying, that type of the government chairs. Yes, I think we started who arrange that, and then all here the university got that. Except that there are some people they became here not long ago, So if Olaja is here, Olaja is the latest player. Police are going to do Korea. So now I think we should please appreciate the fact that what brought this problem of inadequate funding and the rest of that is this issue of salary, the increase in salary, implement a new minimum wage, and the university is now using some of its idea to pay salary. By the time we pay salary, there will not be much left to take care of the needs of the university. We were having an intervention too from the tech funds, but they also dictate what the intervention should be spent on. In most cases, they tell you air condition, they tell you laptop, they will tell you, they bring some furniture and they say for professor, for directors and something like that. They always mark it. That's why when they brought those things, we managed to, get some and then benefit from them. But the problem again is that we cannot immediately provide for everybody, but you can be sure that something is being done. The last time when Mrs. Duole spoke to me, I just saw her. Madam, I hope you are enjoying your new yes, I'm enjoying my course. I said, I'm not enjoying the office. That should be a general problem because 2 days ago, I remember, don't let me use it 2 days ago. Regular request from Inter about Dr. Sagias, who repeated here now. So, well, you are not the only person. But let me talk to the beginning. Immediately, think about the thing around. Prof, provide the furniture. It's something that if I can also help. So we came back before the vice chancellor, then he signs for the. And now, those chairs and tables are being provided through the technical education. I can tell you they have not received it. You are going to get them very soon. And I think it's also going to happen to other. But I told you this that what we have done in the College of Humanities, let's do it in other colleges. Because we have just employed from academic staff too. There's some non-teaching staff. We have posted them to colleges. So let the colleges also assist us with the funds they have in the colleges so that we can provide. And they have approved that. So those of you working in colleges, you will definitely get respect very soon. As for the issue raised by Elijah Peter, but I want to say that to some extent you are saying the truth. To some extent you are bringing in purpose. It's been there's a lot of purpose what you are saying. Yes, I came there because you complained. When I got there, we looked around on the instruction of the vice chancellor. I told him, yes, we must go there and solve the problem. Don't forget, after this, the vice chancellor himself came we came together. Because as we are trying to bring student affairs courses, we are also trying to bring the clinic to the campus. And so we were looking for where to use for the clinic. We identified, obviously, that was the place you first, you just pointed out will be very good to you. But later on, we discovered that one would be good for clinic. And I went to see the dean. Please, we have brought this student affairs to you, for your college. And therefore, I think you must provide it. And they gave me 3 rooms. Yes, three rooms. 3. Initially 2. you now got the third one. Then later on, it came to me that somebody is taking the third room. I called the vice chancellor, and the vice chancellor called the dean and said, that room, nothing should take from the student affairs. And that room has been returned to you. Now, you have the office. I mean, now, the student affairs officer, how many times have I called you about that? And even the dean told me the same arrangement they are making in Go is what they are also making in student affairs. Please be patient. You will get it very soon. Please, we just need, yes, all of us have to be very patient because the funds are not there. It is not that the funds are there and we are not providing those things. By the time we pay salary, what is left? I mean, will you like to sit on chairs and tables and you not collect salary? So please, the other time we are complaining about laptop, I told you that the phone in your hand is enough to work as what? As the laptop. And since then, I think the noise about laptop has since diminished. So please continue to make use of your phone. We have Office, Microsoft Office here. We have Microsoft there. We have all those things that are in your phone. And you can do your typing. You can even print from your phone. You can do everything. Even at home, you can do your office work. And since then, you've been making use of that. I want to thank you for adapting yourself to the current change in the global. Yes, again, I also want to talk about marketization of the university products. At the center of it is the administration, the registry. We are the one who brought in students. We admit them. We are the one that gives them what? The university certificate, is transcript. So everything depends on us. You understand? And so integrity comes in. And so accuracy of the information, confidential, everything comes in. So please, I want to tell you that in the last time I checked, through our digitalization effort and then our content creation ability on the website, we now have over 40,000 followers on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I think that is very good. Over 40,000 followers. Before last year, before January, I don't think like that. But by the time the director ICT posted to website for purpose of content creation, and we employ youth for this short video. And within a very short time, this university now has over 40,000 followers. And I want to assure you that before the next within another short one, the thing was still in place. But it has been a tremendous improvement in whatever way. So that is part of it. It means we are marketing the university. Now, last year, when we wanted to admit students, we had over 12,000 students that subscribed to our post-BPM, and out of which we admitted 10,000. I think so. So, before, I think like that before. Yeah, before, we struggled before we could admit 9,000. But this year, the current year that is ending, we had over 12,000 students right at our university. And we managed to, admit 10,000. Even when after admitting 10,000, there did a lot of pressure. But because that's the carrying capacity that we're given. And I'm sure that this year we are going to have more. But we are changing our admission, what do you call it? There's been a proposal. We may not be taking of PTME again. We may just do something else that other universities are doing to admit our students. That was to take away some thoughts from us. So please, you talked about yeah, bureaucracy and rest like that. Trust in the team. I have absolute trust in the team, in our system, and that's why I told you that I'm impressed by the growth, by the development, by everything that has happened. And apart from few people that are committing infraction, everybody in the system has come to be a key player, and we are doing well. I think I thank you for that. On the issue of bureaucracy, that is part of it. There's nothing we can do about it. Bureaucracy is part of it, and that's nothing anybody can do about that. What will ensure that the university, yeah, the issue of promotion. When Blackie was talking, said apart from salary, apart from salary, what is more central? Please, no, I don't want to know if you are working in a place. Excuse me, when you are working in a place and you receive your salary as at when due, what else can you think is better than that? Other things you are talking about, also talking, you are not trying to acknowledge the fact that we give you your promotion as at when due. Promotion is also part of it. Same thing. There's nobody here not being promoted as at when due. That is because of the establishment position and the subject to vacancy and whatever. So please, we will get there. So please, I want you to put it at the back of your mind that this university is trying its best to make sure that our staff are enjoying the benefits of their labor. And that is why we promote you when you today, if you are not receiving, the news is already there that the upper form for 2025 must be worked on and returned by next week, because we want to conclude the promotion for this year October. People will collect their letter of promotion in October. And that's exactly why we're rolling out the upper form now. And what you be just within 1 or 2 weeks that you must submit it. For those of you who are the promotion. That is just that. So please, what other things that we have talked about, I think I've covered almost everything. Having said this, I want once again appreciate you all. The time you have spent here, not a waste. We really enjoyed the issue of thank you. The issue of barrier. Issue of barrier. I would have loved the Vice Chancellor here to talk about it himself. But because this is public service, if you are not asked to comment on something, you do not comment. if we are owing you, and there's no fund to settle that, we know better. Be ready to back up. If I know that I'm going to take 1 million naira above my salary, will I now say no? That money should not be paid. Your own be 300,000. Because of the own 300,000, say that my own 1 million naira will not be paid. So it is we are all of us are enjoying the same time. So please, I want to tell you that we have you in mind, and whatever is your due, we will definitely not deprive you. So please, on that note, I want to thank you all, and then let you know that we care for you, and that your registrar has taken note of everything you said here. And I want to assure you that we shall continue on the path of progress. We shall continue to give you what you want, and then to make sure that the name of our university is internationally recognized. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please tell us who is the registrar. Tell us who is. Yes, based on these achievements that the registrar have mentioned, I'm talking about some real vision. We, Anupa, Tasued, felt that they need to be appreciated. And of course, we decided to give some of these division departments award of recognition. And there are some individuals that will also be recognized. So, with the power of this mic, I want to call on the legislature to stand and the next time. Can you back outside? Because I can't pay what is happening to work. That position, the next one is subject to vacancy. So I'm now coming out. Yes, the first person I want to call out, of course, is the Director of ICT, Dr. Oladapo Oke.
See, like I told you, he even know that I work for him, which means both the mind, the place and the what. Dr. Ademola Adenubi has been a very good partner in progress for us in the registry, and we want to appreciate him for the beautiful work they have done for us, for all his efforts at improving the university system through the ICT. And so this certificate of outstanding performance is to certify that the Association of Nigerian Universities recognizes your contribution to the university. So we thank you for that.
Sir, please still remain there. Dr. Adenubi also remain standing there. Yes, this is for the center itself, that is ICT, as the center.
So thank you very much. And that was thank the team. I know that ICT too, you have a team, and that team has been very wonderful. Anytime we are having council meeting, we will have a KO. running here and there. And we have the inaugural lecture. We have the ICT team, the admission office, they are there. The academic office, they are also working with us. So we thank you very much. Help us to thank them.
Yes, please come and have your seat. Why the registrar still have this time? Yes. The platform that the academic affairs that we run with, we all know it is PPI because we want to utilize that platform too. And actually, I will come and collect. If you know, so you come and collect on behalf of PPI.
Yes. If you don't know TTIO is a training outfit of the university created to do business in the name of the university. So whatever we gain is still coming back to the cause of the university. We are using that platform to run our transcripts, the certificates, program. So that is exactly what we are doing that has given us a very good ovation. In the last some of our post students have been crying out for their transcript and their certificate. They've been coming back to praise us. So we thank you for the good job.
Yeah, sir. While we were hoping we'll be able to discuss some of these issues while we were having the discussion session, I was thinking of TTIO, not only looking at academic affairs, they should show out of fellowship, out of that kind of to other sections.
Yes, we are doing that already. I think there's a proposal for PhD Connect and then admission of the school. So I know that you want to, what you are talking about is okay, special development. To move away from sectional development to special development.
At this junction, I want to call Dr. Adebayo, please come forward, sir. The registrar, I think that's to go. Yes, the next award is for the registrar's office. And of course, they cannot present themselves that award. So we need somebody that has stepped up from that position of registrar to do that here. So that's why they're coming.
On the registrar office. Where's the OKMD is not around? Oh, yeah. Okay, well,
on behalf of the Association of the Commissioner Administrators, and the of Education, Jargon. I'm also very pleased and honored to stand with my dear brother here, the registrar, my registrar, and the other staff of the registrar's office to present this certificate of recognition to the office of the registrar on behalf of Anupa.
The registrar, you cannot have registrar, you can have you know, the next certificate, of course, is the programming college, and to receive on behalf of that college. If you ask, I'll tell you from inception to date, the numbers of PG students, and of course, there are a lot of The documents in place and increase the service of making school has also improved. Thank you so much.
You ask for the question, and I'll provide the answer. And following this, I will have to back at it. Come back up. I don't want to go. Back at it. Well, on behalf of Anupa, I should have an investigation. I'm pleased to present this certificate of recognition. It was not on the national investigation.
Congratulations, the Brotherly College. Just last year, we graduated over 60
Yes, I want to call on the Deputy Registrar Human Resource Management Division, Mr. Abiodun Odukosi for the office. Also, the training at that award received Mr. Anupa. The staff official, please join them.
This is a special certificate of recognition. And the Human Resource Management Division.
That's our pastoral manager.
Yes, Ulysses, their judge, please go forward and give this award to Academic Affairs Division. Academic Affairs Division.
If you are an academic affairs, those of you that come out.
I am privileged and honored to present you certificate of recognition to Academic Affairs Division. Registrar Mr. Congratulations.
Yes, the next division that is taking this certificate of recognition, of course, is council and letter division. Every year by the registrar,
On behalf of our privileged honor, of people after the nation of Ghana. Congratulations.
Yes, why Mr. Adebayo to be registered? Yes, the next division that we want to recognize is admissions division. Admissions.
On behalf of Anupa, I am privileged to present this certificate of recognition to the admissions division of cultural and education.
Yes, the next division we want to recognize is the student that we have the Jago campus and campus.
But this is actually a privilege. And I want to say that this is my consideration. Having spent 14 years in French and Field Division for collaborating with the university. So it is therefore my pleasure to present to you this certificate of recognition from our own dear Association of Nigerian University Professional Administrators. Congratulations.
Yes, this program has always been, so all of our programs have always been covered by the division which we know as the media and corporate affairs division. The degree what to recognize media please report.
Once again, on behalf of Association of Nigerian University Professional Administrators, Anupa, Tasued branch, I present this certificate of recognition to Media and Corporate Affairs Division of this great university. Congratulations.
Yes, yes, also for just for an education sake, because I'm not saying of the staff of those that is still remaining division and unit that we mentioned, select that division and the security unit. Yes. So, I mentioned the two divisions.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are rounding up. And yes, please, may I call on the staff of BG School to come and snap pictures with the Secretary BG School. Sorry. Please let me quickly relate to us this information. The university wants to know to tell us that we should do a kind of induction for as many as those who are just newly employed staff who are done it and are willing to join Anupa. So we'll be doing a kind of induction ceremony for them in another 2 weeks. So please, because we know these people are in your offices, we've given them forms, they're taking forms, and they show their interest in joining Anupa. Because what we are doing at Anupa is training and training. We've seen that for almost more than 3 hours. And I must be frank with you, if it is 1 or 2 things, you are getting today. And that is what I understand. So please, help us encourage these new ones like this. Let them invite the spirit of Anupa from the outset. No matter, once they are gathered, no matter the position they are, let them come in. We will encourage them to come in, take the form, and be part of Anupa. So, they know there are limits to where they can still go now. But yet, whatever training we are having in and out, within the university, they are part of us. So, thank you very much for that.
Well, I think the whole idea started from the suggestion of one of our senior members here that we should start the revive the spirit what happens in corporate world. We felt that that is true. If we have people who are newly employed, then we should try and welcome them. Through a small get together to actually make them so that they are coming into the system. And that's exactly, and most of the people that you find in our system today, they all know the bachelor. I think that is the minimum so whether they are maybe a officer or they are not, one day they will become a being officer, no professional. So if we now decide to give them associate membership, don't think anything wrong. So Anupa should continue to create events that will make people of the campus
you know that we are also professional institutions to be reckoned with. So that particular program will happen. And it's going to happen in July. And all those people that I mentioned, they have been there for already. They return the form, fill their name, then get committed to be a member of Anupa. The more, the merrier. So let's also begin to do things that other great institutions are doing with their members. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, I know we have one or two things the awardees we want to say. I know this before, we just ask to respond on behalf of the group. So, Dr. Deborah, please. Few minutes,
It's up to you. So I also want to go with the already established protocol. I think it's great to know. Although this is only prepared to work. By this might be remind me of those days in the secondary school when you come from to speech. Well, I think it's just for me to thank the Anupa for finding that real opportunity to actually go deep and begin to study was people are done. It's fun to action. Don't do that. Every time I hold my leg like this, I always want to remember sometimes it take a team. I have the opportunity to invest. It used to be the marketplace where you were small students, one looking for one service, and you always believe. And by my training, I think you always compare this service. And that when you have a normal problem, there's no normal solution that is coming. It has to be a normal solution. And so from that abnormal solution to evolve in patients. And that will change. And in most cases, people will get together to change. And so everything we have done so far at ICT was for us to really change, and for people to have to change, and for us to stay consistent on the path of that change. And when we look back today, and every time I come to office today, we really confident in the activity. And you can just see doing this work again. No friend is coming, no bunch of staff are coming around for something again. It's only problem everything. Because we challenge the status quo, we produce an online address. We saw people at the university for open verification. And then there was not a quantity, there was also another creation. There was so opportunity. And the technology world is evolving and it's bringing a lot of money. And as a university, we also need to tap into this. And I thank the university management for accepting the proposal to establish the TTI. Today, the TTI is playing a key role in technology. And I think the next thing that I always get is the global fund that is available that they need to access. There's a lot of thousands of dollars going around and they need to access. The university stand in a very critical position to do this. I remember that time when we have to bring the foreign minister for communication and research. We never felt in the commission and it will be minister. And I still have the opportunity seeing it recently where we were able to bring it. So we need to tap into this. We thank the university for seeing through that it was a possibility. And when we look at the work that it was doing at the exams of paper, I think we can also trying to achieve this. And I appreciate that people are now providing that TTI help to also come to other sectors of the university. It's about being innovative, it's about challenging the administration, it's about challenging people. And we can look at the same way and expect a completely different result. So we need to change that. And for that, I appreciate Anupa. Looking through all of this, it's a difficult one if I have to be. I'm sure if you are second one, I'm not sure how that popular because some of the things we have brought has actually challenged the way people do the work.
through it and still finding that we're worthy of this recognition. I think it's great one. I appreciate it. And then this will always remind us that we have not done enough. And that we need to do more. And that we need to do more. So, thank you very much. The Vice Chairman for the closing remarks, please.
On behalf of Anupa, Tasued, we want to thank you for this purpose. Yes, we want to thank you, Registrar. I will believe we continue to do. I will pray that Almighty Allah will assist you in all your people. At the same time, we want to thank all the members facing this situation. We want you to please turn out more when it's all of that. And we promise that we will continue to start with it. You are all welcome. Thank you for
It will be this time we mentioned this. Mr. Oke sent me a message this morning. I will have loved to be here. Or he went to Crawford University in Dessa as a resource person for promotion interview or appointment interview going on there. And he sent his greetings to all of you. Mr. Oke is the former registrar of University, and is presently with us on sabbatical at Media and Corporate Relations. We thank him and we wish him masses back for the old. And we also want to thank Dr. Adebayo, who is also on sabbatical with us at the University Tasued Consultancy. Very soon they will be calling you up for a training program or a conference. Yeah, what about the very soon? Yeah. So I think that was for secretaries and chairmen of committees. And then it also extended beyond this university. It's because the Tasued consultancy there. It's, I think we call it exchange. So an exchange for our own. We share it. And I think that's a good one. That happens between the two institutions. So we will be having more of that. So some of our AR school to prepare to go to Ilaro very soon. Though they are just become Federal University of Technology, and I've told them there at least somebody can know what if you want to learn from process of transformation, we are transformed twice. And so, I think very soon we will be able to send one or two people there too. So thank you very much. We appreciate you finally.
There will be proof of the work done. But let's try for the Thank you very much.